The lovely public town of Sparta, Tennessee. What a beautiful place this is. Public land. Public property. Well, let's start walking, shall we? This is the Sparta graveyard. It's where I'm currently at. Well, at least parking lot for it. The graveyard's up there. That's an old train caboose. That's the farmer's market for Sparta, Tennessee. So come along with me as we walk through the beautiful old historic town of Sparta, Tennessee. There is a lot of historical buildings still standing here in Tennessee that have been here for years. I'm gonna walk across this road, make sure I don't get ran over. Now, I decided to park in a public area, so therefore my car doesn't disappear magically. But here in Sparta, you got a lot of everything, and I'm gonna make sure not to get these poor people's cars that much. I don't need them being on the internet. But farmer's market building. This is where during the summertime the farmer's market will be, so you can get your fresh produce out here. We're gonna be coming up on, well, the old courthouse square is where I'm going first, which in turn has the old movie theater. Lots of people just driving around. But if you want an old historic place to come to, Sparta is your place. These old historic buildings. And if you're looking for ghosts, well, this town has plenty of ghost stories. They can spin you, it can take you to many different stories. The one that a lot of Tennesseans that have been here for years know about is River Road. This is the old movie theater. Still stands. And then the American Legion for retired veterans of Tennessee. I'll walk across here. This is beautiful Tennessee. Wake County Courthouse. Trying not to film people. It's now a church. Being careful not to film people or get people's license plates. Little stage and a little bitty hangout area. They have car shows in this parking lot in front of the courthouse occasionally. But look at all of these buildings down here in town. All of these old buildings that are still standing. Many of them have been here for years. There's the Expo Center for Sparta. Front of the courthouse there. Going across here. It's a nice little, this is my hometown. This is the hometown I will always associate with. It's where I was raised. May have been born in Pennsylvania, but this is my home. All of these that you see around me, some of them are now shops and different places to get food. Some of them are now no longer open to the public. I'm not expecting to go viral from this. I just expect people to enjoy the architecture, the Art Deco look of an old town that still is open and as busy as ever in 2025. Still have little tiny shops, parking, parallel parking in front of them. Nobody really knows how to parallel park these days anymore. You learn that whenever you go to house auctions and the people are just parked all over the roadway. But look at all this. All this beautiful land. There's a funeral home up there. All of these beautiful older buildings that are still standing here in town. There's an old abandoned house over there that is boarded up and has been for years. Nobody really has ever been in it. Nobody's seen anybody go inside of it. And it's all boarded up. There's the funeral home over there. This is about as far as most of the old buildings go. So I'm going to start walking back. And you can see this town has a lot of its original historic buildings. Sadly, in 2024, one of the buildings that used to stand here in Sparta, Tennessee, in the courthouse square, fell. We lost one of our historic buildings due to its structural integrity falling apart over time. And they deemed it not safe to go in, and they let it slowly destroy itself until they were finally able to clear it all down and get rid of everything. So now it's just a vacant area. Trying not to get pedestrians. But there's those buildings again. You got coffee shop, pizza shop, got a pizza shop, and then you got yourself a coffee shop. Yeah, there's just a lot of places out here in Sparta that are beautiful places to be. Just absolutely beautiful old antique buildings. And like I said, some of them are no longer open to the public. And apparently some are under renovation. Yep, there's a look at that creepy old house again. But there's historic buildings and this hardware store. I think they're open now as they're open as a furniture store. These little nice little buildings. Sparta's just one of those places. Should be known more so of a tourist attraction for just its Art Deco look. It's very old, mind you. Most of these buildings are a lot older than most people would guess. May not know the exact number of any of these buildings, but I can tell you they've been here longer than I have. That's for sure. Even my high school has been here longer than me. Just, you know, the normal old antique town that most people dream of seeing but never get to go to. And a lot of older towns no longer exist because they lost their population. Route 66 is a proud example of a town that used to exist along a road, but a lot of Route 66 no longer exists because the road became vacant. a lot of people stopped going to Route 66, and so it became an empty place. Well, after a while, a lot of businesses had to shut down. There were still a few open tourist attractions on Route 66, but not a lot. But here in Sparta, Tennessee, we're still a booming town. We never had a falling out, and we never really had a problem. We're still an existent, proud piece of history. And we're still making history. Here in Sparta, Tennessee, we are the history that we want to be. Even our bookstore is old. We have old buildings from a lot of different time periods. Backside of Courthouse Square. There's my car and where I parked. I'm gonna see if I can. Probably gonna have to get across the graveyard and then cut back across down the road. Because the sidewalk kind of stops there and then continues on the other side of that house. And I think it's important to support local businesses. Even if they have become a little pricey nowadays, it's because a lot of people stopped going to them. And it's getting harder to get cheap stuff anymore because we've stopped supporting ourselves as a country and started relying on different countries to provide us with cheaper goods. Something used to be here and it's gone. And it's always sad to me to see that stuff disappears over time. I hate to see empty, vacant lots like this. They lost that building recently. It's sad. It's gone. That's also been boarded up, no longer open to the public. But this is old, and I can tell it's been abandoned too. It's sad, all these old buildings just falling apart. 15. Still got power. Bet you they're still using it for something, but they don't care about the broken windows, and it's sad to see these places just start falling. Sooner or later, they're all just gonna fall in. I've not been stopped once filming Sparta, and I'm glad, because I have a First Amendment right to do this. I'm just filming to document. That used to be Pluto's hot dogs. It's no longer. Guess Disney finally sued them. There's the public library up there. All these, look at this, it's just an old town. Just an old town filled with old buildings. There's even some old buildings up there. It like kind of stops at the other side of the courthouse there. It's just a town that we're proud of being in. I'm proud to say that it still stands today. Most of it, at least. There is some that, over time, has disappeared because people stopped going to it. So the shops shut their doors and no longer accept people into those buildings. And over time, they become condemned and disappear and leave vacant lots like this. And I feel like we should be preserving and restoring most of the buildings that are historical to Tennessee. And of course, you can't have a town without something going on. Even in small towns, you have this. This is a small town that I wouldn't mind living in the city side of it. Because you can't really say there's much of a city here. And like, I'll show you, there are many historical places here. And it's home to one of the greatest waterfalls. Not the greatest, but one. It is also a historical landmark. Burgess Falls State Park. They are just outside of Sparta, a little bit into Cookeville. But from where I live, they're just only down the road. You can see here, that's a building that no longer is open to the public. And that one, I don't really know, but there's just old buildings here, and I love seeing them. I love history. I just hate seeing these buildings start to fall apart. Because over time, well, they do. And here's one of the small parks of Tennessee. There's a gym up there. I'm actually a member of the Sparta Y. I can only say that it is sad. There is a building that sat up there too. It's gone. It's been gone for quite a while. They're just now trying to build something to replace it. I'm gonna go this way, just kind of film beauty of this park. And Calf Killer, that river butts right up against River Road. The legend of River Road is that at night something pulls you into the water. There have been several car accidents on that road, and I myself have had a spooky encounter with that road. And this is definitely going to be a 20-minute video. It's definitely quicker than most people. Most people spend hours on just one building. I'm spending about 20 to 30 minutes on an entire town. Mostly because I don't know complete history of this place. But I've lived here long enough to know enough that if we don't do something, the place will continuously fall apart. Speaking of falling apart, and it's sad, because this all was once a beautiful place to be, hang out, share a wonderful day with your friends, listen to that lovely river flow. There ain't no doubt in my mind, looking out here, that there's just something beautiful about Sparta. All of this place is just sad. And I'll take you the back way up to where I parked my car, so you'll get to see some of the graveyard. But this is all one place. Sparta, Tennessee. We ain't a big town, but we are a historic town. Because most of our buildings have survived quite a long time. A lot of our buildings have been standing since the 40s and 50s. Of course, these old antique street lamps along the side of this lovely parkway feel bad that they're being neglected. You just don't see anything like these anymore. Of course, we're now in the neighborhood side of Sparta. And that's further back that way. There's another little bit of the park down there. There's a little pavilion on up. See if I can't get it in frame. There it is. Yeah, it's sad. This place was once a beautiful place to be, but over time things have kind of disappeared because everybody wants to stay inside. I'm encouraging the newer people that are on this planet, I'm encouraging the younger generation to go outside and do something. I'm 19 and I'm out here videoing the beautiful city of Sparta. I'm technically getting exercise by walking the city of Sparta. And it's amazing just how much is here, how much historically is left on this place. And I love the sound of that water. You could fall asleep to that river. And I'll show you some of the lovely side of things, because I'm going to take you to Calf Killer. I'm going to take you to that river, back to this river, but I'm going to take you down River Road with me. When I get back in my car, we're going to go for a lovely drive. And again, I don't want to really show people, especially not children. So I'm being respectful. You get to see the ground and my feet. Here, what I'll let you see is this. That's about as far as we're going with that. Stuff that don't work anymore. They're trying to keep this built, but it's still got its own fair share of problems. And somehow I would ignore that sign because some people still stay here after dusk. They don't really enforce it that well. They used to, because there would be gates there, shut people out, but, well, they just don't really shut anybody out of this park after a certain time. Up these stairs and across the bridge take us back to the graveyard. Or if you wanted to go exploring the woods, there's a little trail that leads to another part of town. There's just something thrilling about this. Yep, this is going to be a 30-minute video. Would you look at that? I'm also going to take us on a drive to Burgess State Park and show you some of the history, as long as the park is not busy when I get there. But y'all are coming with me to see what the historical side of Tennessee has to offer. And I know I don't have the right shoes for this, but I'm going to show you this before heading back to my car. There's a lot of stuff that if you do your research about Tennessee, that is still classified to this day. However, when you're out in nature, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Tell me one big city that's out there, where you can go and find stuff like this. Just beauty. Still find nature at its finest, trying to reclaim what we've put here. And I know it's kind of sad because this at one point would have been either an access road or a trail. And yet, nature is starting to take it back. On the other side of there is just another side of Sparta. I'll take us there, but after that, I'm turning back around. And, well, sooner or later, I'll take us down River Road and tell you about the ghostly experience I had here in Tennessee. I believe in the supernatural. I believe there is something out there. And I believe in God and Jesus because of what all I've seen. And yep, more. Yep. Everything out here is interesting in its own way. And then that just leads to, like I said, another road. And well, Tennessee is one of those beautiful places. That I wish people would actually take better care of. Yep, and there's the road that we come out to over there. Just another side of Sparta. Time to walk back to my car, show you River Road. And then I'm gonna go home. Well, actually, no, then I'm gonna go to Burgess Falls, show you that, and go home. But this video is getting posted on YouTube, and I wanna see something possibly happen with my channel. Because I actually now have some money that I can use to drive around a little bit. I ain't gonna drive a lot, but I'll drive some. And if my revenue goes up, well, I guess I'll do even more driving. I'd like to get to the Bell Witch. I'd like to be able to spend a night there and have my own haunted experience at a much more well-known haunted place, which actually has one of the one and only confirmed supernatural deaths. If you do research into it, the Bell Witch is known to have killed one person in their sleep. And the Bell Witch house resides here in Tennessee, not in Sparta. It's in another part of Tennessee. I think it's quite a ways away from me. But if I can get the money to take a small vacation there and still get paid from this and my work, well, I'll do it. I'll take a small week vacation there and show you what it is like. a nice, beautiful, historic place. And then we're going to go down River Road, show you some of the other interesting abandoned places off of that road, show you the road itself. And yes, I am an advocate for things that are haunted. I don't like haunted stuff. However, to prove that it is real, I'm a purist. I will prove in any way I can that whatever happens is actually real. Right now, construction people are out here taking care of the lawn for the graveyard up there. Thing was freshly mowed today. Still have a little bit left. Places. This is one of them places that they obviously haven't gotten to yet. It may be on break. I'm trying to be polite and not disturb the graveyard. Better look at Sparta from above. Almost an aerial view of a lot more of this town. And it's beautiful being out here. This is just one of them places that you have to see. Area code, Sparta. Now, I don't want to see people coming out here and vandalizing shit. So I forbid you, people, from actually coming out here and breaking into some of these buildings. But looking around them, if you get permission to go inside, then go inside. But don't do it without permission, and don't do anything stupid, as it bans people like me that just want to film it from being able to just film it. Even though most of it is considered public property, most of this is just public property. Every sidewalk I've walked down is public. However, public property can ban people for doing dumb shit. So please don't be stupid. Now, River Road is certainly the next stop on our journey. Time to head down Haunted Road. And yes, this is a janky-ass setup. Just ignore it. I don't exactly have a GoPro with me. Otherwise, things would probably be a little bit better. So just bear with me as we continue our drive down to a haunted road. we make our journey down here, take note that that little fence area is actually a list of names of people that died at war. That is our memorial area for those that have died. And then, of course, you got more old buildings here. And then further down is just public housing. All these different little small houses. There's, of course, different things. There's a church there. There's another church over here. This small town has plenty of churches. That's a house that's for sale. I actually don't blame anybody that wants to move out here for moving out here. It's actually a nice little place. It's quiet. It's a quiet little neighborhood. Not much to go wrong, really. And most of the people around here are actually really nice. I've not really met anybody that absolutely hates me. I've met one person that was a pain in the ass to work with. And right now we are passing another old abandoned building that is falling apart. And this one I kind of want to go inside. So I might do an illegal since the door is open. But please do not try this at home. Somebody's over here, but yeah, you probably don't really mind if somebody else pulls up and parks. Let's see if we fix it. This is known as River Road. And it is known as some of the locals as a haunted road. There have been some weird, ungodly things that have happened here. It's just a little public road, not much really talk about. But if I head up here, I can show you the closer look at the abandoned building. I'm not sure how much my camera really caught. Because, of course, this area is not really great. I want to actually walk on the side of the road here, but I'm feeling that if I walk too much, somebody will probably come by. But anyways, River Road. Bringing you to one of the haunted tales that I've heard. Of course, I'm not going to go too far into this building that's abandoned because I don't feel like risking my life or risking the police. However, I will show just a little bit of it. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm just looking to show just how much dedication I have to a channel that I barely used. And it's time for me to actually start posting stuff. And since it's spooky season, I might as well start with abandoned buildings and ghost stories. And like I said, on River Road, as legend goes, the reason it's called Calf Killer River is because anytime calves went into the water, they died. So, they named the river Calf Killer. And after a while, it just developed a reputation. And then that's when the car accidents started happening. There have been several car accidents on this road, whether it's from you believing the legend that the road is actually haunted, or it's from your own personal experience. This road is supposedly a haunted road. And in case you can't tell, here in Tennessee, we don't really got a shoulder on the side of the road. Otherwise, I would have just pulled off here and parked. But there ain't no telling if I was going to get my Jeep back out if I parked right in front of this. I'm not going to go too far because I don't feel like getting myself caught. Yeah. Most of the residents here are probably not really going to care, but I'm just trying to film. Most I'm gonna do is, oh, it smells in here. This is about as far as I'm going because I don't feel like trespassing. There is a basement. I don't wanna know because I bet you money homeless are living there. That's about as far as I'm exploring. You've seen there are several rooms in there. Now, time to head back to my car, continue my drive down River Road. Now, after I'm done driving down River Road, I'm going to head to Burgess Falls State Park and explain to you the history of Burgess Falls. And that, I also believe, was a hydroelectric plant. Based off of the noise I was hearing, I think they're still using it, but out of a different building now. And then, of course, after I show you Burgess Falls, I'm going to show a little bit more Sparta. Kinda. Because I'm going to be driving down this road. Y'all are going to follow me past the middle school and up through some more of town, and then out back down more country roads to back to an urban side of Tennessee, and then over to one of the tourist attractions here in Tennessee. Of course, car or two will be coming down this road. Car 2 will be heading down this road. Indeed. But of course, I've had my own spooky encounter on this road already. This road no longer really scares me all that much. I, at one point, had an encounter with a vehicle that tried to push me into the water. I believe it was a ghost car. Y'all can try telling me different, but I just believe it was. Now time to get back out on that road again. Let y'all see some more. Now, sadly, I can't really do a lot because I don't know a lot of things, but back out on the road we go. think I may be able to do a better job this time of propping the phone. There we go. Back out onto the road we go. right-hand side of the road. It's a nice little tire shop. It's where I got my Jeep's tires done. It encourages people to go outside and explore and learn the history of their town. Your town may have more history than you know. And I encourage you to actually research it, whether it be good or bad history, to actually learn a bit about where you grew up. Even if you just moved to the town, doing research on the history of it is a good idea. Domino's, that's a more recent installation, but next to it would be, not directly next to it, but that little, this little building coming up, that building right there, right beside the speed limit monitoring sign, that is the Sparta radio station. It gives us Yurt FM and 105.5 The Malt. Coming up on the, again, right-hand side of the road, behind all of these buildings you see up here is the Sparta Fairgrounds. You can see the sign right there. Lake County Fair is right back up in there. And then, sadly, it's not a year-round fair. And I'm not going to go the highway because I like the back roads, so you're going to see more of Sparta. And you're going to see one of the only active movie theaters that are still active to this day in Sparta that is old. The Sparta Drive-In. Yes, we still have a drive-in movie theater. We are one of the very few towns that still have a operational drive-in movie theater. And if you look at the sign, you can see what movies we are going to have soon. However, right now they're closed for the season, which is not surprising considering it's fall and, well, the weather's getting colder. They'll be open again, though, in the summertime. This is an old farm ranch. It's been around for a long time. They sadly lost one of their barns during a tornado. Took their barn with it. This is a very historic place. There's a lot here. There's a trailer park on the left-hand side on the other side of that highway. You probably can't see it, but I can. I can tell you it exists. Not really my thing to go explore. time to get in now. And of course they got everything all torn up down here. I'm not going to really talk that much when there's people around because I don't need people telling me you can't film here. It's not like I'm trying to film you. I'm just trying to film the beauty of a state park. Which this is also technically public property. Well, that's sad. I understand that you guys are trying to open up some areas and make it easier to walk to different things here at this park. But come on. Getting rid of trees and nature to do said thing. Damn, I miss the original people that managed this park. Why'd you have to go and retire, Bill? Hi, are you friendly?
Yeah, just like
I'm a puppy and I jump, but I'm friendly.
Hi. This used to be a hydroelectric plant. The dam is still all the way up there. It's that old bridge that you see when I came in. That's one of the structural pillars for what used to be the pipe that ran the water down to the actual electric plant. Which the building is still there, at least part of it. But of course I don't have a kayak right now, so I can't really go film that. You can no longer go down to the bottom of the falls. And the only way to really see it is to have a kayak anyways. And that's the bridge they used to hold the pipe in place. Go all the way over there and then into the mountainside. Or I should say hillside. This is that nice little waterfall. More information. Another person walking. Better view over here of the water. cliffside. Nice rock formations from years of water wear. Years and years of water erosion formed this beautiful park. I'm almost too tall to actually fit under most of this nowadays. Park is starting to kind of fall apart. And of course, people walking off the trail have formed their own trails. That and animals over time have done this. As for handicapped to see first fall. Well, my phone, me and this phone are gonna continue our journey down all of this. Nature is beautiful. This is now an hour video of me just showing you Sparta. All the way on to a little bit of Cookville here with Burgess Falls. Which I don't really know if Burgess Falls is part of Sparta or if it's part of Cookville. I think it's part of Cookville. Somebody down in the comments section can correct me if I'm wrong. For all I know, it could be shared territory. Oh yeah, I haven't made it to the worst part yet, but I'm about to. Motherfucking stairs. Join me as we go up the stairway to heaven.
cemented waterfalls.
Stairway to heaven.
Oops, here comes some more.
I'm sorry.
I need to lose my borderline asthma. Oh. Or I should have brought my inhaler with me for doing this. I don't know which I should have done, but I know I shouldn't have done this. Hello.
I'd love to jump off that little stump right there.
Believe me or not, but there's a bigger one. That's why there's more stairs. Why is it always stairs? At least I'm going down this time and not up. But I'm about to have to go back up to go back around through the access road. And I'm gonna have to take you all through the fire tower trail. Well, not the fire tower, but the water tower trail. To show you where the water tower used to sit. Because there's another plaque that anybody can pause the video at and read. I'm not a huge advocate for reading myself. But if you want to read, you can stop the video at any point and read. And this is not going to stay on my internal storage, despite what my phone thinks, because this is getting transferred to YouTube and then deleted off my phone. Might be saved to Google as a backup, but otherwise it's not staying downloaded on my actual hard drive. Right now, the only reason it's probably giving me that warning is because it can't pick up a signal out here, because there is no cell service at Burgess Falls. Once I probably get back up to the top into my car, it'll stop giving me that warning sign. But after that, I'm gonna stop filming. This video is gonna be posted on YouTube, maybe even on, if I can figure out how, it'll probably also get posted on Twitch.
start a hiking trail.
Got that. Oh yeah. They lost water access a long time ago in a flood. You used to be able to walk all the way down to the bottom of the falls when I first moved here. I was born in Pennsylvania, but I've spent more of my life here in Sparta, Tennessee than anywhere else. That's why I call it my hometown. Moved here around 4 or 5, and it's always been my home. I was treated right here. I don't want to leave. The people that live here are nice people. You normally don't end up with a shitty neighbor. Say normally, there is the off chance you do. It's like any town. There's always that one. A lot of people ignore this trail. Don't understand why. It is a full-on trail. There's guardrail, there's stuff to try to prevent you from falling. Well, I say that, and I guess you could technically fall down there, but that's only if you're stupid. Should be a plaque somewhere. Tell you, but there used to be a water tower that sat somewhere back up on this trail. That's the river, and you can actually kayak from here up to the bottom of the falls, and then you can actually see the hydroelectric building that they used to use to create power. However, sadly, no longer exists. And this is probably why people don't go down this trail anymore. There's no railing up in this area when there should be, because it's a major fucking safety concern. People are stupid enough, though, to stand, or they shouldn't. See, there's guardrail starting now. I need to come back through here since they're redoing the park anyways and actually add more guardrail. Major safety concerns. There is no VR world for Burgess Falls, and I'm glad, because you miss out on a lot of the beauty. Even if there are names of previous lovers sketched into everything here, even the trees have that problem. That's what happens when you have a public place. Things don't remain private. And phone, please do not give out your storage yet. Because this video is going to have to be pretty long. This is going to be the longest video I upload to YouTube, and it might be the first video I upload to Twitch. And after this, I'm probably going to start live streaming the places I go onto Twitch. So if you want to actually catch something, you should probably start following me on Twitch and YouTube. I'll probably have shorts made out of screen captures that people make of my full-length videos that'll go onto YouTube as shorts. That is after this video. This video, the reason I did it is because I'm not going to have any cell service to live stream Burgess Falls. Because like I said before, there is no cell service out here. I can't even make a call. And I'm probably going to be posting 2 videos today, because I'm probably going to stop recording, go do something, and then start recording again after a little while, after I've uploaded this and deleted this off my phone storage. So I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and then once it's finished uploading, I'm going to delete it off my phone. Well, I'm at 42% battery. Lovely. So I'm probably going to have to finish this recording, charge my phone, and then go out on another journey. Actually, I'll have my phone plugged in my car, so I can film at least a little bit more. If I wanted to, but I'm not gonna film. I'll film a little bit more later of my driving. destroying things with their stupid vape smoke. Excuse me, I'd rather smell the wilderness, not a fucking vape or cigarette. Now I'm back online.
Oh, he likes fishing now. Yeah.
I just catch in the lakes.
I hate people. I definitely wore the wrong shoes today. Then again, I didn't feel like I was going to do anything today until I got dressed, and here I am, filming an entire state park and town. This is going to be basically a 2-hour video. Damn. I love how at the beginning of this I was making fun of people that take 2 hours to film just one thing, and here I am taking 2 hours to film a bunch of things. And I guess this is where I leave it off today. I'll more than likely wind up posting another video later on today, if I find the time. Probably will find the time, even if it is some night driving. But this is the stuff you just don't normally see anymore. Back on something that these shoes are actually made for. I need to get new sandals anyways, eventually. It's definitely not the time of year to get them, though. Well, actually, it's the time of year to buy them, not the time of year to wear them. You buy them now while they're cheap and on sale, and then you wear them in the summertime. Anyhow, this has been Burgess Falls and most of Sparta, Tennessee. I'll catch you in the next video.